Hey everybody, welcome to Squad Pod Sports. Today on the episode, we're going to be talking about the NBA free agency opening. A lot of cuts, a lot of signings already happened, a lot of commitments happening. So we'll be getting into all the news coming out of the NBA. Of course, we're going to be going into the NFL talk as well. A lot of stuff coming out of there, a lot of news, cuts, other signings as well. So we'll be talking about all that and more. Welcome to Squad Pod Sports. We're bringing our thoughts on the latest games and sports news around the sports world, brought to you by Waves 5 Media. I am Wyatt, of course, joined by Vernon as always. We're going to just go right into the NBA talk because there's so much news going on right now. Big names are out there. Trades are already happening. It's wild out here.
Opt-outs. We got all types of stuff to talk about, But free agency, for those watching, officially starts tomorrow. So unfortunately, we don't have all the information that we wish we had right now, but we're going to speculate on everything we could possibly speculate on.
Yeah, we're recording the day before it officially opens, so we're still getting a lot of the official, not official, not official stuff. So as of yet, we still got a lot of stuff to go over. Starting with Brooklyn Nets guard Patty Mills declined his option, and he's going to be a free agent.
Now, apparently the Nets are still in play. They say that, that's still an option there, but he is declining the option, going to become an unrestricted free agent?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, yep. So he's free to choose wherever he wants to go. It's a good piece for a team that's contending, I'd love to have him on the Lakers. I just don't know what type of moves we're going to be making, but yeah, he did decline.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to want to get Patty Mills as of right now.
Absolutely.
A trade that has happened, Atlanta Hawks traded Danilo Gallinari and 3 first-round picks to San Antonio for all-star guard Dejan Murray.
Yeah, that's huge.
Huge trade. This is huge for the Hawks.
This is what Trae Young needed. Another piece like this to be able to kind of build around both of them now and move forward in the future. And hopefully they have a deeper playoff run, more success in the regular season. But this was a huge move for Atlanta here.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been trying to try to get to that next step here these past couple seasons, and they just haven't been able to make it work. There's still a lot of questions around Clint Capella possibly stay in there as well, so who knows what's going to go on with him. But yeah, like you said, this is a great move by them. They should be definitely better going forward.
Absolutely. And like we were saying, they'll be able to, even if they don't make it too successful this year, this is a good foundation to build around here with both of those pieces.
Just build that depth at this point.
Exactly. Yep.
Another star here, Washington Wizards Bradley Beal declined his $36 million option and is becoming an unrestricted free agent. He's eligible to sign a 5-year max to return to the Wizards, or he can sign a 4-year deal elsewhere. A lot of rumors on both sides right now. They're saying that he still is committed to Washington, but he also said that he quoted as saying that he thinks he's going to regret not taking the chance to go out and win a championship somewhere. So I feel like at this point it's up in the air. I feel like even with him, he's probably like, I love Washington, but on the other hand, I could probably go out and win a chip real quick if I wanted to.
He doesn't even know the answers to the question right now. He wants to go out and explore his options at least to just see what's available, who's interested, what's the payday looking like. And if it's not going to be something that he thinks is going to make him happy, then he knows that Washington will welcome him back with welcome arms, open arms. So, and get more money.
And get more money, and an extra year, you got job security for a long time. And he's a great player still. It's not like he can't play.
Right.
He had that injury last season, but he was having a great season up until he got injured.
Right. And then the year before that, even with Steph Curry, he was having that race where he got hurt and ended up losing out on the scoring
title.
But Bradley Beal for the last 2 years has been great other than these injuries. So as long as he can stay healthy, that dude is a great player on your team. Now imagine him being a second fiddle somewhere. Now that's amazing.
That's what I was just about to say. If you could put him on a team that's already decent and where he doesn't have to be the focal point, he could be even better.
Like, as much as I hate to say it, a team like the Sixers, something like that,
Sixers.
That would probably be amazing. The Heat. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. If they got him on the Heat, get Kyle Lowry out of there and bring Bradley Beal.
Yeah. But
who
knows? I definitely think that he should leave Washington.
I agree. He's been there long enough, man.
But I also respect the loyalty of staying with one franchise your whole career, if not as long as you can. So
Yeah, I just don't. It's See, I feel like the situation with him and Dame is a little different because I feel like the Trailblazers, they can build a roster around Dame. Whereas, like, I don't see Washington ever building a competing roster. Like, I don't know. That's just me, though. I just don't know how serious they are about doing it. You know, it just doesn't seem like it's been a long time since they were even, like, contenders. I remember them playing against my Bulls with Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler like 10 years ago.
But at this point,
they haven't really been anything since.
Right. It doesn't seem like they're really out here. They're not trying as hard as everybody else, it seems, more or less. But
exactly. Where I know you're in the NBA, but it definitely seems like some teams, winning's a little bit more important than others.
Portland pretty much tanked last year without Dame, you know, so they knew
they traded CJ.
Yeah, so they're building up for this year for like a rebuild or retool for this season here, where Washington is still kind of up in the air. I don't know what's going on there. You know, everything with them pretty much hinges on Bradley Beal at the moment.
Yeah. And you already mentioned the Sixers, so we'll roll right into that news. James Harden declined his $47 million option for the 2022-23 season. Apparently, he intends to get a contract during free agency to like a more financially flexible for the team. Maybe lower that price tag so they maybe go out and get some more depth pieces for the Sixers.
Exactly.
Yeah, so more than likely he's returning to the Sixers.
Which out of Russell
not
Westbrook,
jumping ship yet.
Out of Russ, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, he's definitely the more likely to do that. As much as we be calling him Cheeseburger Harden and all this, like he never seems like, I don't know, because he does. I don't know how I want to say this. I feel like I know that James Harden wants to win, but like I don't know what the problem is in the postseason. Like why? What happens to you? Like what changes? You know what I mean? But like this move doesn't surprise me as far as that goes. You know, where I would be surprised to see Russ do something like this. I'd be like, what? You know what I mean? But
yeah, and I mean the Sixers just got to stay healthy too. I mean Joel Embiid, it's a couple years now where he's just been going into the playoffs hurt.
Yeah, but that's everybody. You know, everybody's got to stay healthy.
Well, yeah, that's everybody. True.
You know, it's like winning a championship is like how healthy can you be throughout the whole year?
Yeah. Can you outlast these other teams?
Right. At the end of the day, you could have the best player in the world, and if they're not on the court, you know.
Yeah, who knows what would happen if like Chris Middleton was playing with them Bucks?
Yeah,
this postseason.
Who
knows?
Full strength.
Yeah. Orlando Magic are letting Mo Bamba enter unrestricted free agency. He's getting consideration from a couple teams, including my Bulls. Go out and get. I got home.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, as soon as you said his name, that's what played through my head there. This dude will forever be famous just because of that. So I pray that one day he has a great NBA career, so he's famous for more than just the song, you know?
Right.
But still, at the end of the day, that's still a pretty good song to be known for, you know? I fuck with it.
Yeah, so I would be all right with him because he would be a depth piece, especially if we keep Vooch. He'd be a nice backup center.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they've been linked to him. Reports, apparently Fred Van Fleet for the Raptors is near signing a $100 million extension with the Raptors for 4 years.
Damn. I mean, that's their new DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry type of player there, where he's the franchise. Like he's him, and I don't really know what else they have up there as far as like the foundation. You know what I mean? Siakam, but that's really it. So it's like really up to who. Van Fleet or Siakam, and I would say
try
Van
to
Fleet.
Attract some other people, some other pieces to go up north, the Great White North.
Oh yeah.
And going on to another star with another extension, Damian Lillard and Portland Portland's expected to offer Dame a 2-year, $100 million extension.
$50 million a year.
Yeah, 2-year extension worth over $100 million. They said.
More than $50 million a year? Holy shit, for a player that sat out damn near the whole year last year? Holy shit.
I don't know, man.
And that'll get him
up
until 27,
right?
We're
gonna give you all the money to stay here.
All the money. You can just have all the money.
I'm pretty sure, because I think we talked about his contract ran up in 2024?
I think 24, 25 is when this contract's up. And 25. So this will take him to 27. So how much more basketball does Dame really even have it left in him, even maybe after that, you know? So, like, if he signs a 2-year extension, then he's probably going to be staying in Portland for the rest of his career.
For the rest of his, you know? Unless something happens, they buy him out. Like, something happens, he decides he wants out, buy him out.
But otherwise,
terminate the contract.
It would most likely be him doing Kobe Bryant, you know, staying with the one franchise his whole career there.
Yeah, I mean, rumors so far are saying Portland are going to be heavy buyers this offseason. Okay. So we'll see what happens if they can actually build around them. They had a decent draft from what I saw, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, best of luck to them because I want to see Dame succeed, man. This dude.
Exactly. I wish they would have kept CJ too, man.
Yeah.
But Denver is apparently trading Monte Morris and Will Barton to Washington in a deal for Contavious Caldwell-Pope and Ish Smith.
Okay. So, yeah. Like a lateral
Your old boy Caldwell-Pope.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope. Okay. What I think about him is him playing in that game with that ankle monitor. You know what I mean?
I forgot that was him, dude.
That's all I think about when I think about Davius Caldwell-Pope. But I do like him.
I never remember who that was. I just know it happened.
Yeah.
So I see every now and then you'll see a picture of it pop up on like Facebook, one of these meme pages.
Dude was only playing home games. He couldn't play away games. You know what I'm saying? During the home games, he had to wear the ankle monitor. Like, hey, gotta do what you gotta do, man. That is messed up, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So I respect that. I respect the fact that he went out there and did it.
Armed police and guards at these stadiums, like
why make him go through wearing that? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Come on now.
Come on, man.
It's probably a situation where like he literally can't take it off. You know,
maybe.
I don't really know how those things work.
It's more of a pain to take it on and off than anything.
It is what it is.
Surprisingly, apparently, Victor Oladipo is expected to leave Miami in free agency here. He's a free agent.
Yeah, I wonder what the market is for him.
I don't see him starting anywhere, man. Yeah. As of yet. He's going to have to earn that. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he knows something about...
More of a depth piece. But he's got to stay healthy.
He's another piece, like, great when he's playing, you know, great when he's on the court, but the best ability is availability, man. And, like, he has been out so often. And it's just, we're years into his career now where it's like, is it really worth it? You know,
he was looking great until that injury happened, man, when he was on Indiana.
But you know, it's coming. You know, eventually, if you sign him, he's gonna have some crazy injury keeping him out for 3 months.
Yeah,
at least
big risk.
Yeah.
There were some trades during the draft the other night. The Knicks traded Nerlens Noel and Alec Burks to the Pistons. The Knicks unloaded $19 million in salary cap. They're looking, and they're actually signing Jalen Brunson, apparently.
God, from the sorry, Nerlens Noel. God.
It's a name you don't hear too often.
Yeah, he's fallen from grace. I actually just saw a memory the other day from Kyle. It was on Facebook, and it was like something about Kobe coming down the lane, and then out of nowhere, Joel Embiid and Nerlens Noel blocked the shot. Like, if I ever find this memory again, I'll remember it specifically, screenshot it and send it to you. But like, it had his name in the.
He probably has ones like Markelle Fultz.
I know, right? I know, right?
Minnesota Timberwolves and Taurean Prince agreed on a 2-year, $16 million contract extension.
Okay,
locking some of that foundation down there. The Los Angeles Clippers center Ivica Zubac agreed on a 3-year, $33 million extension.
Okay, sticking around a little bit for them. Fucking Clippers.
Clippers. The Boston Celtics assistant Will Hardy is going to be closing in on a deal to become the next head coach of the Utah Jazz.
Yep.
So Jazz are trying to get some of that Celtics little formula over there, try to build up a winning team.
Mm-hmm. There it is, right there. We were waiting for it since the I'm blanking on his name. Since the dude left, the coach for the Jazz. We talked about the.
I don't remember it, man.
Dan Snyder.
No, it's not all.
Quinn Snyder. That's his name, right? He was the coach for the Jazz. But yeah, we were looking. I didn't know who the hell was going to fill this role, to be honest, because we're so late in the rounds, you know, the hiring rounds and everything. So it's good for them to go out there and pluck something from Boston.
Yep, and they actually went and they hired David Fizdale as assistant GM too.
That's
so he's
huge.
part of the front office.
That's huge, man. Fizdale's the man.
Yeah, so hopefully, man, they can finally get something going over there in Utah, because they've just been kind of stuck in that same rut of just going to the playoffs and getting immediately kicked out.
Mm-hmm. Right. No matter how good
and they
are.
Can't stay healthy too.
Right. Work on that training facility.
Work on that training facility, man. The Rockets have officially reached their buyout with John Wall. He's a free man, and apparently he's going straight to the Clippers.
Apparently, this dude only paid $6 million for the buyout, and they still gave him $41 million.
Yeah.
And apparently,
talk about a deal, bro.
The Clippers are gonna give him like $6.5 million or something like that so this dude is gonna make all of his money. I'm like, what? None of this shit makes sense.
Con man at the highest level.
John Wall's just like, I ain't played in years.
They paid me not to play last year, bro. I could have. They paid me not to.
I was good. They said, nah, don't worry about it.
And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get them to pay me another $40 million just to let me go to another team.
Watch this. Yo.
Since I was nice enough to give you my services, I'm gonna let you pay me $40 million so I can go somewhere else.
It sucks that he's going to the Clippers. It really does, because I said,
like, once again, if they can stay healthy, that would be a nice team in LA.
Clippers. I don't want to see them succeed at all, but I do want to see John Wall succeed, you know? Like, Kawhi going to the Clippers, Paul George going to the Clippers, it's changed my opinion of those two. I used to like Kawhi and Paul George. Now I'm like, fuck both y'all. You know, realistically, like, I used to like both of them. But, God, even when PG was in OKC, I was like, man, that's cool. I like them blue and orange jerseys on. It looks cool, man. Now I'm like, fuck them. Fuck both of them. And fuck John Wall if he goes to the Clippers. Yeah.
Now, are you still going to have this animosity towards them if they get their own stadium? Because they'll still be an LA team.
We'll see.
Yeah. TBD.
I'm not sure how to answer that question, because when you asked me, the first thing that popped into my mind is like, why do I hate him so much? And I thought about the fact that they're sharing our fucking stadium. So like that might be one of the reasons, because they have never won shit. So it's not like they're like better than us, but like right now they're better than us, and that's, I don't know. Fuck them. It's just like
I didn't know if it was because they were just the other LA team or what. Because I guess technically Golden State is an LA team.
Golden
too,
State,
I guess. Not LA, but like
Sacramento,
San Francisco.
There's a bunch of motherfucking California teams out there, you know what I'm saying? But fuck the Clippers, okay? Specifically.
I mean, we might as well stay on the Clippers. You mentioned him. Kawhi Leonard apparently is no longer restricted in his rehab activities. He's practicing. He's in the gym. It's looking like he's going to make his return here with the new season, which, with the addition of John Wall and you got PG signing that big bull again, they could have a solid roster there.
Yeah,
just gotta get some more depth pieces.
They really could. Let's see if they can stay healthy. Let's see what they do. But speaking of the Clippers, I had some news here. Did you see that the Clippers and the Blazers are going to be playing a preseason game in Seattle?
I did. Interesting, isn't it? At the old stadium where the Sonics played.
And I was looking into it here. Apparently, the last time they did this was in 2018. So it hasn't been too long. But the next closest time to them playing basketball in Seattle for the NBA was 2008 when the Supersonics left. You know what I mean? So This is only the second time that the NBA has been back in Seattle.
Maybe garner some interest, see how many people show up.
I hope so, man. Wheels are turning.
Get a Sonics game.
The wheels are turning.
Sonics team
They're trying
again.
to be all sneaky about it, like, oh no, you don't know where the next expansion teams are going to be. Like, Floyd Mayweather talk about buying a team, and you got a preseason game in Seattle.
Yeah.
Vegas, Seattle. Fuck you mean? Like, come on.
Yeah, you know what's happening.
Cat's out of the bag.
Shaq recently came out, and he sent a message to the DeVos family that owns the Magic. He said, if you're ready to sell the Orlando Magic, sell to somebody that's going to take it to the next level. That's us. And, hey, man, I am all for Shaq owning a team and getting in there and trying to build a nice roster.
Amazing. Shaq's been doing all these commercials, all these endorsements for 20 years.
It's all been for this.
For this. People are like, Shaq, why are you taking Gold Bond commercials? Why are you doing all these commercials? The General? He's like, you want to know why I do all these commercials? I'm going to own the Magic one day. One day I'm gonna be a
We're
billionaire.
gonna be champions.
We're gonna be champions over and over. I'm gonna have so many rings. I'm gonna have more rings than Kobe. Like he's just like he wants that one more ring than Kobe. You know,
big man that shoot three. Just big man.
Just the whole team full of big men. Big men come down, handle the ball like Allen Iverson. Do whatever.
Talk about teams that have small ball. We have big ball. We going big ball all over everybody.
I love it, man. I would love to see Shaq go to the team. You got Shaq going to the team, Michael Jordan going to the team. You know LeBron's going to the team eventually. Like, I love it. Like, please. I want
yeah,
more
you definitely
former.
know LeBron's going to the team at some point. He's been talking about that.
Right.
So it's just a matter of which team and when.
Yeah, realistically.
Moving on to a developing story we've been talking about for the past couple weeks. The Hornets finally found their new head coach, man. And it was not Mike D'Antoni. It was Steve Clifford.
How you gonna give D'Antoni all these interviews and not hire him? That's some bullshit. He wasted that man.
Jordan's just like, I don't know about this guy. I gotta talk to him. There's something about this guy I don't like. We need to have a couple more interviews with him.
Ask him some different questions. You're like, that's something about this guy.
I had like the front office interview and like, I'm not sure, Mike. And like, all right, bring him back in. I want to talk to him again.
And Mike
no,
feels
get
like,
Clifford. Hire Clifford.
No, get this guy out of here. Get this guy out of here. We ain't running none of that fastball, all offense. Get the fuck out of here. We play defense right here.
Michael Jordan, I don't know, man. He's like borderline on like what we were talking about with the Wizards, where like he's running the team. But is he like out here trying to like win championships? Like, is he out here like successfully trying to bring all-stars and everything in? I don't know. Seems like he's just trying to build through the draft.
Kind of running the team, you know.
Just like running the team,
he's just
man.
kind of running the team right now. Like the goal is to get a championship, but he's not like it's not an urgent like do it tomorrow type of goal.
Happens, it happens.
He's like, yeah, we'll get there eventually. But like, did you see that video the other day?
It's got to happen sometime, right?
Eventually. Did you see that video the other day of the kids at the Hornets garage? And they're like, yo, maybe we'll see LaMelo. Yo, oh shit, look at all these cars. And like Michael Jordan pops his head out. Is like, yo, get out of here. Like, what are you doing? They're like, yo, Michael, like, you know, like they're out here looking for
like,
LaMelo.
The picture, he's like, nope,
get out of here, get out of here. Like, it's just the last person I would have expected to see. Like,
right.
And it's these kids, they don't know no better. They're looking for LaMelo Ball. Are you kidding me? I'd be looking for Michael. I'd be like, God.
I would be like,
God,
Michael Jordan.
Holy shit, it's God. Like,
I gotta get some pictures. I just saw God on the street.
Oh my God. Like, even if he was like, no, get out of here, I'd be like, yo, I'll do whatever to get a picture with you, man. Like,
I just want to say I love you, Michael.
I love you, Michael Jordan. I had a Bulls trash can when I was little. Like, just everything, man. Like, oh,
but like,
God.
he doesn't help himself with that meme that you see. It just says, it's a picture of Michael. It says, fuck them kids.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's the same thing. He's like, nah, get out of here. You ain't supposed to be here. Who let you kids in here?
Right. That's how I'm like, how'd they even get there in the first place? Like, damn. Whose kids are these? So we come get your kids. They're wandering the fucking facilities.
Oh, man. Moving on, these Knicks are expected to offer Jalen Brunson from the Mavericks 4-year, $100 million deal.
Damn.
Everybody getting $100 million deals nowadays.
$100 million, 25 a year. There you go. God damn.
Knicks trying to build up a team over there. Trying. They just got like 2 first-round draft picks, too. They ended up trading up, getting some nice draft picks, too. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll see what happens with them, man. I mean, they have been shit for so long. Even when they're like, you know, kind of getting there and getting a little bit better, they fall apart again. And we're like, and then they're bad for another year or two. Like, what the fuck? You were just making progress, you know? So I just don't know what to think about their Knicks.
I feel like I saw it. One of these pundits said it the other day, and I think it's true. I don't know if you can build a contender through the draft anymore. No, man, I feel like you're gonna have to at least go out and get some stars, or 1 or 2 at least.
There's no way to build through the draft anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing like the Warriors. It's like an isolated thing. I mean, I guess you could say Boston too, with Jaylen Brown and Tatum. But the Warriors, man, you have 3 people you drafted, and they ended up becoming like 2 of them mega all-stars. And Draymond, he's just a fantastic role player with them, man. He plays off them so well.
When building through the draft works, it's because you drafted a superstar. You know, so like at the end, like a Devin Booker, a Jason Tatum.
And the odds of doing that are like, man.
Yeah. you have to be in a real bad position first to even get that motherfucker. You know what I mean? So
exactly. So to completely try to build a team out of the draft, it's nearly impossible to do, man.
Right. Because once you're a middle of the pack team, it's hard to get over that hump unless you go out in free agency.
Yeah. So you got to try to attract somebody there. Like that's why every time you see a free agent, like the Knicks and the Nets were in on KD whenever he was making his decision.
Yeah.
And they just haven't been lucky enough to hit on any of these huge stars. Because I feel like that's maybe all they need is to get one of those stars over there, try to gain some more interest, bring some other people in.
They were close with Melo and Amari Stoudemire and J.R. Smith, like when they had that team rolling, you know, but since then it really hasn't been the same.
I think it also has to do with management, because that dude that runs the Knicks is terrible.
What's his name? Sloan or something like that?
What the hell's his name? I have to look it up.
But yeah.
But he's just notorious for just not giving a shit, dude. Like you see stories about him all the time. Like he cares more about getting like James Dolan. This asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah, he cares more about just owning the Square Garden and shit. Owning the Knicks and just being like a high profile, like being an owner, having the owner life and everything, more so and about going out and winning championships.
Right.
Whereas same thing with the Bulls, you saw it with Garpax in there, nothing was getting done. As soon as they fucking leave, get the new team. All right, Zach LaVine's here, DeMar DeRozan's here, Lonzo Ball. They're actually going out and getting some high profile free agents.
Trying.
Yeah, where before with Rose and stuff, there was a lot of rumors saying that nobody wanted to come because the actual organization and how it was run, which it could be a lot to do with some of these teams, as nobody wants to deal with these organizations that have problems.
Like, why the fuck? The only reason, and this is off topic, but speaking of that, like it really, I was thinking about this today, like why some of these teams just stay away from certain organizations, and it's like even more mind blowing that Deshaun Watson chose the Browns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, they guaranteed him $300 million damn near, so that makes sense. If anybody's guaranteeing it,
that's another thing. But is like, because all these players, even like all-star games when they're practicing during the summer, they all talk. They know what each other's organizations are like in and out somewhat. So
why the fuck would anybody choose the Browns, let alone a high-profile wide receiver or quarterback like Deshaun Watson? Like, was the Falcons really that bad of an option? You know what I mean? Like, but
Browns are the only ones that were offering them
the guaranteed
$250
deal,
million guaranteed.
But let's get back to basketball.
Yeah. Knicks, speaking of them, they traded Kemba Walker to Detroit, and apparently Detroit is going to be buying him out. So it's looking like he's going to be a free agent as well. So we got Kemba Walker out there.
Kemba's been one of my favorite players, low-key, like, since he's been on UConn. You know, back whenever he was a college player, man, I've always liked Kemba Walker, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where he goes. I didn't like him when he was on Boston, but I liked him in Charlotte. So let's see where he goes.
Okay. The Nets, and this is a story that's been developing for weeks, and just to come to pretty much an anticlimactic conclusion, Kyrie is opting into his $37 million option for the 2022-23 season with the Nets.
Yep.
So he's going to be sticking with the Nets. Now, Woj did put out there that there's still a chance of a trade at some point, like the sign and trade. I don't know if that's going to happen. It seems like it's going to be KD and Kyrie running it back with them Nets. Yeah. But they're going to have to find a way to build up that roster because it seems like a lot of people are leaving.
I would rather have Kyrie Irving on my team than Russ at this point.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man.
But if we can't have him, we can't have him. So it is what it is.
They said that you guys were like one of the only teams that were trying to actually get Kyrie.
They're like, I don't know. Kyrie Irving's like, he's talking to his agent, like, are you sure that's the only team that's interested? Like, Braun is like, sure? please. Like, oh, man. We'll see what happens, but it's good that they're going to at least be able to run it back, and hopefully he plays a full season here, you know. But I said to you off camera here, I don't think Kyrie or Kevin Durant play in next year after that. The 2023-2024 season. I think they're both out of Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, I think this Nets team's imploding.
Yeah, this season will be the last season that either of them are on the Nets.
Yeah, so Alex is just hoping for a good season.
Yep, this is the last hurrah here. Hope you get a chip.
We mentioned Detroit. They also made a trade. They traded Jeremy Grant to Portland for a 2025 first-round pick, which goes back to what I mentioned with Portland. They're looking to be big buyers here this offseason. That's
huge.
So they went out and got Jeremy Grant, who had a decent season last season.
Yeah, he did, man.
To pair with Dame.
I think that's huge. Like, that's a great piece to get for Portland there. I know you need a lot more, but that's a great starting place, man. That wasn't like a lateral move or anything like that. That was a great move there by them.
Yeah. Bobby Portis from Milwaukee is entering free agency. He didn't opt into his option either. Go back to Chicago, brother. Bring it on home, bro. I would love to bring Bobby Portis back.
He's got that championship experience now.
Exactly. He developed into the player that he wanted to be. He knows what kind of player he is now, where you were kind of getting flashes of that season before he left. He was starting to develop into that player, but going over there in Milwaukee, he really developed into a decent player. He could be a starter on a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether if he starts for the Bulls or not, I think it'd be a great option to bring him back. And I think because of the history, he would want to come back as well. I see that a little bit more realistically than Mo Bamba
coming to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. We'll see. I mean, like Thursday, like we said, today was whenever it really kicks off. But yeah, that's a player that definitely would be huge for you guys, even as just like a great depth piece, like a 6-man type of situation.
Exactly, dude. That would be great. I would love to have him like either 6-man and like that would be just great defense. And that's what we've been kind of missing is just a bigger guy that can play defense. He has a good 3-shot now as well. He's a good shooter. So putting him on that second team with like Caruso, who knows if Kobe's going to be here. Apparently you guys have interest in Kobe all of a sudden. I was like, what the hell's going on now?
Island of Misfit Toys, man.
Hey, man, Kobe would be a nice piece for you.
Yeah.
A young point guard to have.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Don't sound too sure of yourself.
I'm not sure of these Lakers at all right now, man. I told you before, man. I'm preparing for a dark night. A winter is coming, okay? Winter is coming. Night. I'm preparing for the long night where we have multiple losing seasons until we get back to, like I said, 2030.
That's the championship.
That's the championship. So we got a couple years of some bad
Lakers
basketball.
have a long-term deal with the NBA where they have to win every 10 years.
Yeah, at least once every 10 years. But there's a lot to be positive about. I'll get to it in my bias bubble, But yeah, so we'll see what happens. I don't really know what we're looking for as far as free agency, man.
Okay. I only have 2 more things here. The last couple, Pat Connaughton with Milwaukee is exercising his $5.7 million option. He's going to be returning for this season.
Okay.
Nice piece to keep around. And not NBA, but WNBA. Brittany Greiner has been named an honorary WNBA All-Star starter.
Interesting.
So she's going through everything. As everybody may know, she's being detained in Russia. We don't really get into that kind of stuff here on the show, but of course it's a terrible situation that's going on right now. We don't even know when she's going to be able to return.
I saw something about like they changed the status of her, like where she was being held like under a different circumstance now or something, so like it's something that was like hopefully she comes home soon. That's all, and
hopefully.
I know there's multiple varying opinions out there, but it's all over a vape cart, man. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's just some ridiculous shit, man. She should definitely be home. So I'm glad that the WNBA's honoring her with this, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anything else you have before we move on to the NFL here?
I had one more thing here.
Okay.
It's been reported now that the 2022 finals here, the viewership for it is raised 24% from last year. So that's huge. And I know it was Phoenix, Milwaukee last year, and this year was Golden State, Boston. That's definitely a big impact. But regardless of the reason of why, the fact that it happened is great. So that's gonna be huge for the NBA going forward. I hope it just kind of continues, grow hand over fist. Where we were talking about a couple weeks ago how the NBA seems to be losing its grip, but that's great sign right there that people are still tuned in, you know. So I'm glad to see that the NBA is still getting the nice numbers. They're not NFL numbers by any means, you know, but
yeah,
they're getting
but it's
up
nice
there.
to see that it's still going up from here.
Exactly.
You know, they still have that marketability that's out there.
Right.
And with all these great players that are going to be coming up through the league here, and all the young guys,
like 10 years,
it's going to be a bright future.
Absolutely.
But moving on to the moving on to the NFL here, we just gonna hop into it. Deshaun Watson's hearing with the NFL and NFLPA started on Tuesday. They are hopefully going to have a decision by Thursday, like around when this comes out. It might be already out by then. Apparently, NFL is trying to seek an indefinite suspension for him with at least 1 year. At least 1 year out.
Good. At least.
So he'll be out at least 1 year, but the NFL is going to try just to have it indefinite.
Baker
and the reason
Mayfield
for saying
spit out
indefinite
his
is
coffee reading this in his newspaper. And laughing, laughing. He's
laughing.
Yeah.
And they're saying indefinite because they don't want to put a number on it, because they don't know if anybody's going to be coming forward with any more cases or against him. Dude, or whatever.
Get this guy.
They're going to try to leave
this
as open-ended as possible, because they don't even know what's going to happen from here. They don't know what's going to happen between now and the start of the season.
Right.
so
let alone now and a year from now, you know, so get this dude the fuck out of the league, man. I think I've been vocal about at least a year, at very least. If it's like fucking 6 games, like, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? But
yeah, there's rumors about like 6 to 8 games. But yeah, a lot of the sources are saying no, the NFL is trying to make it indefinitely. At least 1 year indefinitely. Get him out of here at this point.
Get him the fuck out of here. There's no point in having this headache. You know what I mean? It's
a private I completely
company.
Agree.
Fuck this guy. I don't care how good he can throw this football. You know what I mean? Like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, there's no room for it, man.
Exactly.
And you talked about Baker Mayfield. He recently had a little interview here, and one of his quotes was, they asked him if he could ever reconcile with the Browns organization. He's like, no, I don't think. I think for that to happen, there would have to be some reaching out. But we're ready to move on, I think, on both sides.
And then he proceeded to thank Browns fans and tell them like how he loves the Browns fans and thank you for how long I've been here and all the support. And I fucking love it. I love it that Baker Mayfield is still, even after every development, he's just like getting more and more cheeky. He's just like and
it's funny because like all these people are saying the Browns are saying that Baker's like immature. He's not a good leader or whatever. Where it's like, well, you got 26 cases against the QB you just signed to a huge deal. He's in a trial with the NFL and NFLPA, while your other QB is having charity events and organizations and helping having little camps for kids and stuff out here, actually doing what he's supposed to be doing. And
I fucking love Baker Mayfield, and it's crazy because.
Makes me appreciate him more, and I'm not even a Browns fan.
Wearing this, I should have never uttered those words. You know, it's crazy how time has changed, because
planted that flag, man.
All I could think about is him planting that flag for so long. You know what I mean? I hated this motherfucker because he's just planted that fucking flag. But after seeing years and years of this is what I think year 4 of Baker Mayfield.
I believe
we're going into year
4 or 5.
So. And a lot has changed, man. I think the dude I don't know, man. I love Baker Mayfield. So and a lot has changed.
I like Baker.
I'm cool with him.
I think he can definitely be a starter on on one of these 32 teams, man.
He had me fucking with the Browns, man. We talked about this for the last 2 years. We're the Browns, you never know.
Yeah, they got something, man.
Now it's all about fuck them Browns. You know what I mean?
And as soon as this dude is playing on a dangling shoulder, bruh, and he's all banged up, he has some rough games, then you want to get rid of him.
Fucking assholes. I was listening to the radio the other day. I think it was either yesterday or this morning. They were talking about blind stats. Let's give you some blind stats, okay? The last 8 games of I think it was 2021 when they won the playoff game, okay? But you don't know who the team is, who the quarterback is. It was 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You know what I mean? Over the last 8 games of a season, playoff win, got your team to the playoffs for the first time in 12 years or something like that, won a playoff game for the first time in like 26 years. Would you take this quarterback? And they're like, yeah, of course I would take it. It's Baker fucking Mayfield. You know what I mean? Like, this dude has accomplished.
That's what I was going to say. He came in and changed the culture and brought you a winning team, and then you just going to throw him away like
this
that, man.
Dude had 4 head coaches over the last 3 years. You were like,
terrible.
4 different schemes.
But it's his fault.
God, I hate the Browns.
They just needed a scapegoat at this point. That's pretty much what it is.
I hope Baker Mayfield goes to Seattle and him and Pete Carroll team up and they fucking kill it. I would love to see that.
I would much rather him go to Seattle than go to like Carolina, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go to Seattle, partner with old Pete over there,
yeah,
and just like start slinging. You got DK, you got Tyler Lockett, man.
Bro, that's perfect for him because he just loves slinging that shit like Russ does. You know,
exactly,
so
man.
Send his ass to Seattle. I would love to see him in Seattle, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. That would be a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
Going to them Commanders. They signed star wide receiver Terry McLaurin on a 3-year, $23 million per year deal.
Yeah, that's huge, man. That's a huge number.
Yeah,
it's definitely
$70 million.
It's definitely
$71 million
worth it. Where I don't think he's the best receiver in the league, but he's fucking top 10 for sure. You know, so this dude definitely got paid what he was worth there.
Yeah, I mean they got some pieces over there in Washington, but it's like that picture you see like every year during football season, where it's like that nice ass car parked next to that like grubby trailer and that like little hut. It's like that, man.
Exactly. Like, yeah, that's nice, but like the rest of it's shit. You know what I mean? So, man, come on.
You're not gonna be able to do much because the rest of it's terrible.
At least they got him. At least they got their Lambo. You know?
Yeah. Former All-Pro cornerback Akeeb Talib is going to be joining Amazon for Thursday Night Football, apparently, involved with pregame and halftime and postgame.
Hell yeah. I'm cool with that, man. You know, it's like we talk about this every week. It now seems like I'm super excited to see former players on NFL broadcasts.
Yeah, we got a lot of them now, man.
A ton of them. It's like the floodgates have opened. Now everybody wants to be
it's all dudes we grew up watching and stuff, too.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It is so awesome.
Speaking about some other two former players, they're going to be fisticuffs, fighting each other. We got LeVeon Bell versus Adrian Peterson boxing match. That's going to be coming up here, bro.
Oh, shit.
They're going to be having a boxing match at Crypto.com Arena here next month, apparently.
Staples Center, you mean?
No, Crypto.com Arena, I'm pretty sure is what it's called.
You know when we were talking about the Clippers earlier?
LeVeon, bro.
Remember when we were talking about the Clippers a little bit earlier in this episode?
Yeah.
Not once did Crypto.com Arena cross my mind. The entire time we were talking about it, the Staples Center was in my mind. I forgot that it was.
Damn, I forgot about that.
I forgot that it was Crypto.com. Like, Staples Center, man. For the last 20...
You gotta, like, end up going to LA sometime. You're like, all right, there's the Crypto Center. Where's the Staples Center?
Where? I just want to see the Kobe statue. Man, but you're right. Like, you kind of like had a little mind-blowing moment for me there. But when you said Crypto.com Arena, I'm like, oh my God, he's right. That's what it's called, you know. But I'm interested in this. This is gonna be pretty cool, man. Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon Bell. I don't know how tall either like each other are. So
I don't know either.
I feel like just based off of like my assumption.
And AP's not as. A little older too.
He's a little older, but I feel like he's a lot bigger than Le'Veon, you know. So
I feel like he is too.
We'll see what happens.
But who knows?
I think I'm gonna be rooting for AP in that one. And knock out Le'Veon Bell.
I think most Steeler fans are gonna be rooting for him too.
Oh God, you have Antonio Brown come in and place a bet on him publicly.
Kenny Pickett, apparently, for the Steelers, worked exclusively with the third-string offense and OTAs. And they're saying unless something terribly goes wrong with Trubisky, he's going to be the starter going into the season here. And as anybody who's watched the show, our friend Alex, who's also on the Waves 5 channel and Tap That Reviews, he is guessing that he's going to make his starting debut around week 4 or week 5, he thinks, Kenny Pickett. I think that's a little wishful thinking. If they're going with Trubisky, I see him starting unless something crazy happens.
I see them going with Trubisky until they can't, until there's no other option.
Until the wheels fall off. Yeah.
Like, because if Pickett's training with the third stringers, that's not too promising either.
You got Mason Rudolph there at backup probably. Still,
Mike Tomlin's streak of no losing seasons is on the line here. Okay,
it's on the line.
Big Ben was your saving grace for years,
and you relying on backup QBs and a rookie, possibly.
God, 2 backup QBs and a rookie.
Well, former starter Mr. Trubisky, who's a backup with the Bills last year, who's pretty much had a year off from being a starter. And then you got Mason Rudolph, who has had starting experience, but hasn't had great results with them. No, and then you got Kenny Pickett, who's a hometown favorite, who was just drafted. Who knows what he's going to be.
It seems like they're not even as confident in him as they were in Mac Jones, you know? Like, or...
there's a lot of question marks around him.
Damn, that's interesting, because I remember hearing Kenny Pickett's the most NFL-ready QB, you know? Like, Malik Willis is the shit, too, you know? But he's not... I don't know, man. I really like Kenny Pickett being a Steeler, and I would love to see him start, but this is just bad news coming out of Steelers camp. Like, you know,
it's not a good look.
It's not promising at all.
This is actually I don't think this got enough coverage here, but we mentioned before, I'm pretty sure, about the Texans being brought into the lawsuit.
Yeah.
With Deshaun Watson. Well, now there's actually been an official lawsuit made against the Texans from some of these plaintiffs. And apparently the cause of action are civil assault, negligence, gross negligence, vicarious liability, and civil conspiracy. Lawsuit claims that in June 2020, the owner of Genuine Touch, which is like a massage therapist, like company, I guess, the contracting, I guess, they complained to the Texans that Watson was seeking out unqualified strangers for massages via Instagram, putting himself in danger of getting COVID or getting sued. So they brought this to the attention of the Texans in June of 2020.
Texans proceeded to supply Watson with hotel rooms.
Yeah, there's a lot here. Lawsuit claims that Texans knew or should have known that Watson was seeking out an eyebrow-lifting number of random different women massage therapists from Instagram. They have apparently the lawsuit states that Roland Ramirez, a Texans employee, admitted to the HPD that he and Jack Easterby, a higher up in the organization, helped secure a membership at the Houstonian, which is like a hotel for Watson. So they're getting hotel rooms and stuff for him. Busby cites an excerpt from Roland's deposition, saying that it was strange to him when Deshaun Watson asked for a massage table to borrow. So they wanted to use his own massage table, and apparently he was bringing his own towels as well, which is odd for massages. But to bring your own table is even weirder.
Bring your whole ass table? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then Watson got an NDA from the Texans, non-disclosure agreement from the Texans Director of Security. The lawsuit states that Watson testified that he began using the Texans NDA at that point. So who knows what was going on before that as well. Now this goes deeper. We're just scratching the surface. Busby claims that the Texans removed a social media post made by Nia Smith in November of 2020 that threatened to expose Watson for his misconduct during massage therapy sessions with Smith. Apparently, it's not clear how the Texans removed the post, but they did.
But they scrubbed it from the internet.
Yeah, which is it's so shady, man. They reference a massage therapist, Megan Weishheit, who the lawsuit claims routinely provided massage therapy services to multiple Texans players and accompanied the team when the Texans traveled to London. Lawsuit claims when she learned about Ashley Solis's complaints about Watson, she wrote via text, "You don't have to tell me, but out of curiosity, was it Deshaun Watson?" Like, she knew, like, immediately. Like, because the claims were coming out about a Texans player, and then she made a text asking if it was Deshaun Watson. Like, she knew there was a history of it.
Exactly. So, like, it was known that he acts like this or has these tendencies or
yeah.
Fuck this guy, get him out the league.
Right. And the text per lawsuit was sent in March of 2020. She stated that she intended to reach out to the Texans to advise them of the situation per the lawsuit. This means the Texans were on notice of Watson's misconduct as of early March 2020.
More than 2 years ago.
Yeah, and there's an allegation in the lawsuit that at least 2 Genuine Touch therapists had sexual relations with multiple Texans players. The Texans knew of the activity, and at least one genuine touch therapist was fired due to sexual activity with Texans players.
So it's more than just Watson.
Yeah.
So this shit's about to blow up.
Yeah, apparently the Texans knew about players, having happy endings with some of these therapists, but Deshaun Watson was actually going out and like messaging random shady massage therapists on Instagram to go out and get this work. And then he was supplying his own towels and apparently getting his own table and NDAs and getting supplied hotel rooms by the Texans for this.
So the Texans are going down.
The Texans are going down because they are pretty much an accomplice and knew about all the negligence, and they were helping them out much.
They're way more guilty than the Browns are. The Browns are just stupid,
Yes.
The Browns are just stupid. Like, they're fucked too.
The Browns are just dumb enough to go through with all
The Texans are fucked. Deshaun Watson's fucked, and the Browns are fucked. But the Browns are fucked because they're just stupid,
And that's why apparently Howie, my boy from the Eagles, he had like private investigators going in and doing all his due diligence on all of this shit before they were like, nope, we out. We out. Like, we good.
We have nothing to do with any of this
shit. We don't want anything to do with this.
This guy's not going to ever play football again.
Just like Miami did, like the Panthers did, everybody did. And the Browns were like only stupid enough team to actually pull the trigger on it, man.
God damn, man. I feel bad for the Browns fans more than anything. Oh, man. Not for the Browns. Yeah,
like we said before, like, you need to be a free agent. Move on.
It's time to just go elsewhere. You don't gotta fucking go to the Patriots or the Eagles, man. Yeah. You can just go to any team. Because
Baker ain't gonna play for you now. You got Jacoby Brissett as your starting QB.
After all this, you end up with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
I hope you're happy.
God,
fuck Cleveland.
But yeah, Houston, who knows? I haven't even been, other than that report, I've been seeing it here and there, but it's not getting nearly as much attention as the actual Watson case itself.
Yeah,
as of right. I'm sure. I mean, both of these will probably be going on for a while.
And I'm sure this is in the hearing. Like they're talking about this shit too. But yeah, I don't think the Texans' punishment would be coming out right now.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a little bit. And more news. Apparently, Saints' Alvin Kamara is expected to receive a 6-game suspension.
Now,
to start the season.
I don't really remember. He beat the shit out of some dude, right? Like,
yes, it was an incident that took place in Las Vegas during the Pro Bowl, over the Pro Bowl. He was arrested for felony charge of battery.
Damn.
Yep, and they're expected 6 games. That's what it's expected because they're pretty much just going off of past punishments for other players for this sort of thing. So they're expecting at least 6 games. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's looking like they're going to be without him.
That sounds about right, to be honest. Like 6 to 8 games for something like this. I could see them suspending him a whole year because of the severity of it. They beat the shit out of that dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't really know too many details on that one. So
like what's crazy to me is they saying like at least a year for Deshaun with like 26 accusers. You getting 6 games for Kamara who like stomped a dude, put him in the hospital. But you go suspend Calvin Ridley a year for fucking betting on 2 games, bruh.
$1,500? Are you kidding me?
Bruh, come on. You go suspend this dude for betting a whole year, but you letting dudes like stomping people and possibly sexual assault and everything.
Also, and I know it's the integrity of the game. I know neither of us are saying that Calvin Ridley should be betting on the games.
Exactly.
That is still wrong.
Shouldn't be.
But the punishment was a little bit severe. You know what I mean? Like with the NFL, like throwing all this shit in your face about betting on games nowadays when it's super legal, it's all in your face all the time. Bet. You can bet here. Bet $5, win $200. Bet. Like, get the fuck out of here with this shit, man. 4 games, 2 games, 3 games, that would have been okay with me.
Yeah.
A season? That shit's wild.
Make it make sense, bro. Like, how are you? I find, at least personally, when players are going out causing physical body harm to somebody,
that's way worse.
Going out sexual assault and something to women, that's way more serious than betting on a goddamn game. Like, come on, make it make sense. You guys, like, NFL needs to start taking this shit seriously.
Yeah, for real, man. I just don't. That shit doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah, it's outrageous to me. But anyway,
suspended Tom Brady 4 games for allegedly deflating footballs.
Yeah.
None of this shit makes sense.
We're gonna move along to another garbage dumpster fire here. Daniel Snyder is refusing to take his subpoena to go and testify. So I don't know what's going to happen here, man. Apparently he's still out on his yacht out in France or whatever somewhere, but he's refusing. So I don't know what's going to happen to him.
Could he get like indicted, like arrested?
That's pretty much the next place they can go. Yeah, is they can actually indict him. And if he refuses, if he doesn't turn himself in or they don't get him, I don't know what's going to happen from there,
this dude
bro.
Just go out to sea.
Yeah, he's just gonna stay on that super yacht and just disappear, bro. He's gonna go to sail to Cuba or whatever, just disappear.
Too heavy, man, I gotta get out of here. Y'all
and
can
then
have
they're just gonna
Commanders.
find, like, because he's off the grid or whatever, they're gonna just relinquish the ownership of the team, I guess. I don't know.
Yep. 31 owners vote to get
Straight
Dan Snyder out of here.
Coward, bro.
This dude just like,
you need to face the consequences of your actions. You just gonna dip.
Nope, I'm not coming. Nope.
Yeah, karma will come around, bro.
Yeah,
It's gonna
he'll get his. Don't worry, man. He'll get his.
But apparently, as the NFL was investigating the team for widespread workplace misconduct, Daniel Snyder directed a shadow investigation to interfere with and undermine all of the findings. Apparently, the congressional committee found. Daniel Snyder went about to hide all of everything that they were trying to find, and they have evidence of it, bro.
How this shit gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, dude. Like
At Snyder's behest, his legal team used private investigators to harass and intimidate witnesses and create a 100-page dossier targeting victims, witnesses, and journalists who had shared credible public accusations of harassment against the team. So not only they were trying to cover everything up, they were going out and badgering witnesses and like intimidating them and shit. Like, how does this dude still own this team, bro? Get him out. What is it going to take for the Shield and Roger Goodell and the other owners to kick this fucker out of the league?
I feel like they're trying. He's just like, no, I'm not going. They've been trying to kick him out of the league for like 10 years, bro.
It's an embarrassment. Because did you see any of, like, when they had Goodell in and were questioning him? Bro, they asked him damn near everything but about Daniel Snyder and shit. Well, they asked him about, like, if he could remove him. He's like, oh, I don't have the power to remove him. Because I guess it would have to be an owner vote.
You need a majority owner vote.
But they were out here asking him about, like, Tom Brady. They were asking him about, like, why the dude from Barstool Sports isn't allowed at games. Like, they were asking him about other random shit. Yeah, they were asking about other shit that didn't even involve Washington, the matter that was at hand.
Wait,
bro. Like,
I didn't know Portnoy wasn't allowed at NFL games.
That's what he says. He says that he's barred from NFL games, and Roger Goodell said, I don't know anything about that.
That shit's hilarious, dude. I fucking love
Dave Portnoy. The congressional committee asked him about it, bro. And, like, I couldn't believe this is our government at work right now. Because the one dude said, the dude that was part of the congressional committee said, this is a waste of our time. There's bigger things happening in America right now, and we're dealing with this. The same dude later on in this thing, quote, said, well, this is happening with Washington, whatever. He's like, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so it doesn't really matter to me. Or like what he's like, he just said about, like, Washington hasn't been great over the past couple years or whatever. Like, I'm a Cowboys fan, so it's fine by me. But, like, this is our country.
That's got to be some type of conflict of interest.
It has to be.
Like, I know this is just football, but if it's even at this level, there's got to be some type of conflict. Nobody did any fucking filtering here. Like, you can't have no Cowboys fans on the stand testifying against Washington. You know what I mean? You can't have Eagles fans on the stand testifying against Washington. This shit don't make no sense. Like, the fuck's going on?
Like, the matter that you're out here doing, like, it's just like a kangaroo court, man. Yeah. You're asking them everything but about the actual matter at its hand. And Roger Goodell is giving you so little information with all these answers. He's giving you answers without giving you any answers, in a way. Like, I don't know, man. It's a joke at this point. And it's just, as much as all this damning evidence is coming out, I don't have any faith that they're going to get Dan Snyder out of here at all.
I feel like it's inevitable. It's just he is playing the long game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's trying to just keep this shit as long as possible. He's
on the run right now. Like a rich millionaire, billionaire owner is on the run.
God. Good luck.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on. All-pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey had surgery on his shoulder. Apparently, he played all last season with tears in both of his shoulders.
Damn.
And ended up going out and winning a Super Bowl.
Won a fucking Super Bowl. Now that's goddamn heart right there.
That is hard.
Baker Mayfield
and
type
the last
of
thing I had here was Mike Tomlin had a pretty rare interview. He was on a podcast, and they asked him about AB possibly making a return to the Steelers, and he laughed. He said, "Y'all know that ain't happening."
Bro, that's hilarious. I didn't see that at all. I saw there was a quote from that podcast where he was talking about how it's scary thinking about trying to going into a season without Big Ben. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's hilarious. Where he's like,
and he also had a really good quote about like they were talking about like how do you know if like there's a player that you just may not be NFL ready or whatever? And he's like, well, that's how you know if you're a good coach, because any good coach can make it work with these players. They can find their strengths and they can build around those strengths. And he just had a really good, intricate answer to the
there
question.
Isn't any players like that, you know what I mean? Like, if you, like, more or less. Like, there is, obviously, talent levels, but you find what you have, and it's 53, he knows that it's not one man out on the field. If you're not good at this, you're good at this, let's use you for this. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's what he's pretty much saying. That's what makes a good head coach.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend anybody go check out that interview, because Mike Tomlin, he's such a smart guy.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that he hasn't had a losing season.
Right. Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely go check out. I just thought that was hilarious, man. He's like, you know what, that ain't happening. Come on now. AB ain't coming back.
The fuck out of here. AB ain't gonna play football next year. Like, you should have said that.
He ain't gonna play anywhere next year.
Come on, let's be real. Come
on. But yeah, that's all I have as far as NFL. I don't know if you have anything else here, Vern.
Nope. You covered everything that I had written down for the NFL here.
Okay. Last couple things here before we go to the Bias Bubble Crazy Sports Stat. Arch Manning says that he's committed to the Texas Longhorns going into college here.
Yeah.
So that just means we're one step closer to getting him in the NFL and having another GOAT.
It'll be just about right about the time Tom Brady retires.
Probably.
Is when the passing of the torch type of moment where this guy will come in, Pat Mahomes is old news by this point, and Arch Manning, baby, Arch Manning going to the top, Super Bowl. We said that we predicted his future.
I hope that our teams aren't in the position that we have to go get him.
Oh no. No.
But if they are, let's go get him.
No, we talked about this. Like weeks ago. We predicted where he's gonna land. Like who's gonna be like shitty around the time? I forget what the fuck we said, but
I forget who we said.
I'm glad.
Probably like the Texans or something like that.
Yeah, for real. Maybe he goes to the Colts.
Carolina.
But like Arch Manning, man, let's see what happens. This dude's destined for greatness. Let's see. It's like LeBron James. Like he in his whole high school career, was the chosen one. People were like, this dude is the next Michael Jordan. That's not a lie. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's trained by the best to do it.
So that's
some of the best to do it, man.
My point is, like, we've had a lot of other chosen ones since then that have not gone through and done what LeBron James has done with all the pressure that he had. So, like, I feel like I'm confident that Arch Manning can get this shit done. He's about to have like a 20-year-long fucking dope-ass career, win like 5 Super Bowls. Shit's about to be dope.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts get him, bro.
Yeah,
imagine because like they're just going kind of stringing along on these older QBs, kind of buying time.
Maybe Peyton already talked to him.
Yeah,
Jim Irsay, he's like
following Peyton's footsteps. Get drafted by the Colts.
He's like, hey Jim, give me a couple years. I'll get Arch Manning ready for you. Be in a position to get him because he's going number 1. Like just some shit. Like
who knows? Because there's been rumors about Peyton maybe getting in on ownership of like the Broncos or somewhere. Maybe he gets like if Jim Irsay getting up there, man. Unless they stay in the Irsay family.
He's a partier,
Irsay
man.
family.
He's a partier.
Yeah, exactly. So there's been some stories about old Irsay.
I don't know how long Irsay got.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to go to his family or whatever, but how crazy it would be if like Peyton gets in on the ownership of the Colts, gets in there, gets Arch Manning as the QB, and then you got getting the family, bring Eli in as
Eli in as GM or some shit.
Yeah, or something like that.
That'd be awesome.
Family business. But yeah, going forward here, just a couple other things. Ohio State received the trademark for the word "the" to use on clothing, so now they can use the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Awesome. That, wearing that Buckeyes.
And MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said automated ball and strike zone system will be likely introduced by 2024. So it's looking like we might not have any umpires here by 2024.
The Yankees coach just got ejected the other day for screaming at the umpire. I watched the video, bro. It was like low ball, like inside ball, and they were all called strikes. And like you could see on the computer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how they put the strike box up, where the ball goes, the miles per hour, all of them outside of the box, and the strike, and the dude flipped out. The Yankees manager flipped out.
This dude need to get some glasses or some contacts or something.
It is what it is. Like, I know it's all about tradition and everything, but like, wouldn't you want the game to be called as accurately as possible? The fucking FIFA introduced this shit with the goal line technology, so we know exactly when the ball, so it's just the future, man. Like, I'm cool with it. I think
they've been talking about doing that with football.
Put in a pitch clock. What do you mean?
Yeah, put the pitch clock in there. They've been talking about putting like a chip or something in the footballs. That way, like, if on these goal lines or like whatever, they can see if the ball actually crossed the plane or something.
Put one on each end of the football. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something like that. Because like when you get in like these QB sneaks or whatever, and they're in a pile, you can't tell anything. That would immediately tell. Oh yeah, they crossed the line.
Right.
Now it's just a matter of like, would you be able to tell if like their knees down before or what? That's where
at least you'll know where the ball is.
Yeah, exactly, and that would also help with the spot of the ball, I'm sure.
That's a good idea.
And he was also in that same interview. Apparently, Rob Manfred's like, I don't know where the reputation goes around and saying I hate baseball. I love baseball.
This dude addressed it.
Yeah, he addressed it. He's like, well, you called the trophy a piece of metal. I mean, that could have been part of it.
The little one thing that everybody goes for. You just said it's a piece of metal, man. Get the fuck out of here.
But yeah, the last thing I had to say here is we were dead wrong. We want to say this out loud. Had to admit it, but the Tampa Bay Lightning lost the Stanley Cup Finals. Congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche.
Yes, we were wrong.
I was hoping them Lightning were going to be able to do it, but man, those Avalanche, they had a strong season and a very strong postseason here.
They did.
They won their third Stanley Cup in franchise history, and they finished the postseason 16-4, tied for the second best record since 1987.
Damn.
So they had a historical postseason run pretty much.
Now,
to go
I saw
out here and win it.
Something very interesting, and it's one of those Lakers wins every decade type of weird situations, but the last two times that the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup, Detroit won the next one. The Red Wings.
Interesting. I didn't see that. And the Red Wings haven't been good for a while now.
They have not been good in a while. So that exactly, it would be really wild to see them propel themselves to the level of Stanley Cup. You know what I mean? But the last two times, coincidentally, the only two other times that Avalanche have won, Detroit Red Wings have won the next championships right after that. And the second time, they won two. I think either the second time or the first time they won back to back after the Avalanche, but they've been real good right after. It's just a weird little stat there, fact, I guess.
Interesting. Yeah, that's something to keep an eye on here.
Right, exactly. See how Detroit does next year.
But that's actually all I have here. We can roll right into our bias bubbles here, man. Okay. What you got?
I'll start with my Lakers because I don't have much for them. Westbrook exercised his player option, so he's opting in. Of course, we knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, man. I really don't know. Devin Ham, or fucking however the fuck you say his first name. God, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know who we're going to have. Obviously, when this comes out, free agency starts, so maybe we get some people by them. I don't fucking know what's going on, okay? But I know Westbrook re-signed, or not re-signed, but he opted in. So he will be on the roster next year unless he gets traded somehow, you know?
I mean, yeah, you can still have a sign and trade, so it's possible maybe if you guys can find the right deal to get him out of there.
We'll see, man. But as of now, he's a Laker. And then the only other thing I had for my Lakers were Scottie Pippen Jr. and Sharif
I had
O'Neal
them down for you in case you missed them.
are going to play.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little salty because I was like, why the fuck didn't we go out and try and get Scottie Pippen Jr.?
What the fuck? But both of them are on the Lakers Summer League team, okay? And they said, realistically, Scottie Pippen Jr. is more likely to make the training camp roster than O'Neal. But it would be great to fucking have them both on the team, man.
I saw that you guys signed Sharif O'Neal to the NBA Summer League, but I saw you guys sign Scottie Pippen Jr. to a 2-way contract.
Perfect. So he's going to be on a G League team.
Yeah, so you guys got him, you guys got Scottie Pippen Jr. right now.
Hell yeah.
Which I'm a little salty on. Like, why the hell we're like the fools trying to get Scottie Pippen Jr., bro? Why not?
We got Scottie Pippen Jr.
That's legacy.
We got Shaq Jr., okay? We going for the fucking next championships, bro. Fuck all y'all. I'm super excited about that shit. Like, the general consensus is that neither of them are going to be anywhere near their fathers as far as their careers. But you never know. You never know.
Well, yeah, I mean, the game's changed so much since then, too. And I mean, it looks like Sharif, he's a whole different build than Shaq.
Yeah, he can make free throws.
So I'm guessing he has a whole different play style as well.
Right. And like you said, it's a whole different game, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just interested for Summer League ball here. Let's see what happens. I would love
Shaq gonna buy the Magic and then trade you guys to get his son on the squad.
Oh, shit. I didn't think about that. Fuck.
And then he gonna draft Bronny, bro.
Oh my god. Speaking of Bronny, I don't know. I didn't look into this any more than just the picture I saw, to be honest with you. But I saw that he was ranked 29th preseason, or last year. He was ranked 29th in high school, as far as like recruits. He dropped to 69th or something like that. He dropped pretty far for the beginning of this year, so he's got some work to do to get back up in the conversation here.
He better be working with his dad all off season here, getting that lab.
But yeah, that's all I have for the Lakers. As far as my Patriots, apparently we're third in the league in positional spending for wide receivers. So Bill Belichick's doing everything. That means right now, the cash we're spending right now on wide receivers, we're third in the league on that shit right now, apparently. Which is
how?
Like, holy shit. Like, ridiculous. You know what I mean? And because of the amount and the depth that we have. You know what I mean? The players that we have.
Amount of players.
Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Devontae Parker, Jacoby Myers, like, they're all getting nice contracts. They're all getting decent contracts. You know, not to bet Nixon.
That makes sense.
We have a rookie wide. We have like 5 or 6 that we're gonna probably take into the season with us. You know, like solid wide receivers. Let alone like other people that, you know, practice squad, end of the roster type of shit. You know, but apparently they're third highest right now in roster and positional spending for wide receivers. Now, they showed the top 10 and it's kind of a mixed bag. It's like the Jaguars, the Rams, the Patriots, like things like that. But it's an interesting little tidbit there to show that Bill Belichick is trying to spend some money for Mac Jones here, you know.
Yeah.
Edelman was on the I Am Athlete podcast, which is one of my favorite podcasts, man. I've been telling you about this podcast for a long time. And me personally, I haven't even actually watched this one here yet, but I have a few quotes from it.
Watch the clips that come out about it.
Oh my god.
It seems like they're always getting clipped.
They're great, man. They're fucking great. Ocho Cinco hasn't been on for a while, but him and Brandon Marshall.
He's been in Philly. This dude, Ocho Cinco, has been in Philly for like 3 weeks now, going to every sporting event, going to Eagles, like the facility.
Is that why
he's been hanging out with Hurts and Devontae Smith and stuff. I don't know why, but he's like, I love Philly. I'm going to move here.
But anyway, Edelman was saying that if he were to come back to the NFL, it would only be for the Patriots. He said, I'm a Pat. There's no way I would go anywhere else. Like, even for Tom Brady, he would not go to the Bucs. He would come back to the Patriots.
I saw he was talking about, like, this offseason, like, he's been working with Tom, too.
Yep. But he was saying that he'll go out there and he has moments where he's running a route and, like, he's like, you know, I'm going to go get some runs in, get some routes in, you know. He'll go out running routes and he films them and he sees it the next day and he's like, damn. I might be able to still do this. And then he thinks about the fact that he's like 10,000 reps behind by this point. You know what I mean? And that kind of keeps him from, you know, who knows? Who knows what happens with him? He said that he is still to this day scared of Bill Belichick, which is pretty funny. I imagine like he's probably a pretty scary dude. And then he said that Revis was the best cornerback that he's ever faced. And he was his teammate for a couple years as well. So he went against him in practice. But he said that Revis was always the best cornerback that he's ever faced in the NFL. And that's a lot of respect for Darrelle Revis, because there's been a lot of great cornerbacks in the last 10 years here, you know.
Yeah. I saw that he was talking about how players were pissed at Jimmy G.
Yeah, kind of like what Bennett was saying and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. Because it was his non-throwing shoulder that was hurt. He's like, man, we all playing banged up and getting shot toward all shots before we play. Like, come on, man.
Fuck Jimmy G, you know. This dude literally, when I think about Jimmy G and the Patriots, I think about the fact that Tom Brady got suspended for 4 games. Okay, Jimmy G, you got to hold it down for 4 games. That's it, buddy. Got hurt after 2. Get the fuck out of here. We had to use Jacoby Brissett. Get the fuck out of here, Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, he's
hurt right now.
He's hurt right now as we speak. Get the fuck out of here, Jimmy Garoppolo. Cole Strange has signed a fully guaranteed rookie deal.
Hey, there you go.
Which apparently, I just learned this doing research on this, is pretty standard. You know, the first round draft picks always get a fully guaranteed deal. Like Mac Jones.
Yeah, I think the first rounds do.
Yeah, they said Mac Jones already. He earned all of his 4-year contract when he signed. You know, apparently the whole.
And then the rest got to negotiate.
Yeah,
because I think there's one dude that's on the Eagles that we drafted that still hasn't signed.
But this
officially
is like,
yet.
Remember when like Sam Bradford was getting like $70 million as a rookie, shit like that? Like
the original con man, bro. Yeah. Sam Bradford.
But they don't give these rookies giant deals anymore. So this is kind of a way to kind of supplement that, where they make sure they're still getting their money for everything they did, you know. But
yeah,
Mac Jones was working out in California. This is like the 3rd or 4th time that we've worked out with wide receivers outside of the camp with Nelson Aguilar and Trey Nixon. You know, it's pretty great having wide receivers out there, getting that camaraderie. We need to get better. We need to get as good as we can, okay? Because PFF ranks us 18 right now, okay? And that's better than the 21 that I saw a couple weeks ago.
I was going to say, at least you below the 20.
But 18 is not good enough. It's not acceptable. That's not in the playoffs. Okay, there's not 18 teams that make playoffs. There's only 14 teams that make playoffs. So we're still fucking out of it. Okay,
still 4 teams away.
We got 4 teams
get better than
4 other teams. Get better than. Okay, God damn it, we will. We will. Okay, that's all I had for my Patriots for my bias bubble this week here.
Okay, I'll go right into some Bulls talk. The Bulls declined Troy Brown Jr.'s qualifying offer. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. You out of here.
Peace.
That's most likely to make room for one of these bigger men to come in like to the team. Because Acme is what they call him for short. Arceus. He is pretty much saying that the point of this offseason to go out and get rim protectors, defense, and some shooters.
Yeah.
But more importantly, some rim protectors and some defenders. So we're looking to go out and get some big men.
You got motherfuckers that can score.
Yeah, we got some dudes that can score. We need more defense and dudes that can protect the rim. Get some.
So you're not letting up 140 points type of shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why we've been looking at like Mo Bamba. We've been looking at there's another big man that's on the Clippers that's expected to move on. We're looking at him. Bobby Portis is a possibility as well because he can play center and power forward. So I mean, it looks like they're doing their due diligence though.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Bradley is exercising his $2 million player option for next season, so he's going to be coming back here. He's a young, up-and-coming player. Zach LaVine is likely to be a midnight signing, apparently. So, like, what they're saying is immediately tonight, pretty much, is when they're going to announce it.
To be honest with you, it's 12:04 as of this recording.
So I haven't gotten on Twitter.
So Zach LaVine might be a Bull right now. We don't know. You know, but like
they're saying it's going to be a 5-year, $212 million deal.
God damn.
Max. Yeah.
God damn.
God damn.
And
during that interview with AK, he said that he expects Patrick Williams and Nikola Vucevic to remain with the Bulls this upcoming season.
Okay, so maybe no Gobert, going after something else.
It doesn't look like we're going to be going after Gobert. It looks like we're going for straight depth at this point.
Okay.
We're going to run it back.
See, that was where you got hurt. That's probably like what hurt you the most because you had the team to make the run last year, but you just didn't have the pieces to sustain it whenever you needed a little bit of help there. You know?
Exactly. And who knows if Vooch doesn't work out. I mean, Vooch played very solid last year.
Yeah,
he played
absolutely.
really well for us. So even if they wanted to move on, I feel like he only has one more deal because he was talking about wanting an extension. So I think he only has this one more deal with us. So maybe they can go after Gobert or whoever next year too if they want to move on, get a younger player at center. But some positive news. Apparently, Bulls GM Mark Eversley said Lonzo Ball's working out in LA and he's doing well in rehab, and they expect him, and they said all reports are going good so far. So
hey, this is the first positive Lonzo news we've had in months.
Exactly. So hey, I am over the moon with this news, is saying that he's working out in LA and he's doing well.
Fuck.
So hopefully they got everything. So hopefully everything worked out well for him. Get him back just in time for season, hopefully. Get him healthy, please. Even if you don't start the season, get him healthy, man.
Yeah, because I do want to see LaMelo and Lonzo at some point, like, at full strength, both of them. I would love to see that shit just kind of like, not in a playoff game or anything like that necessarily, but, like, maybe even a playoff game. You got a
couple games of that this season, but, yeah.
But, like,
see more of that.
Melo, a couple years into the league, Lonzo healthy a couple years into the league, I want to see that shit. Maybe, like, I'm not even necessarily talking this year. Like, I want to see them both develop into great players because they seem to be, so
yeah.
But I feel like both of them have great potential. Like their dad said, man, their dad was fucking right about 2 of the 3 right there. So Jello usually floating around G League teams too, so I mean all 3 of them.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on him recently. But yeah, they said I mean, as long as he could stay healthy, when everybody was at full strength last year, they were number 1 in the East. Mm-hmm. They were doing great.
Better than the Heat.
So it's just a matter of staying healthy.
Right.
I mean, Caruso is just some freak accidents, man. Like that fall with Grayson Allen, he broke his wrist, and then he got concussed in the other game in like the playoffs against Milwaukee. It was just some bad luck for him.
Right.
And Zach LaVine was on a hurt knee pretty much all season. So get him fully healthy going into the season, man, with a nice contract. Hopefully we can do some damage here and with some depth pieces.
Hell yeah, man.
And we drafted Dalen Terry from Arizona in the draft and our first and only pick in the draft.
Okay. See what happens with that guy.
He's like a guard. He's a young guard pretty much.
Be a big piece for you.
Yep. And I only have 2 things here for my Eagles. Just that our training camp opens up here on July 26th, so we less than a month away, baby, from training camp.
We're in that period right now between mandatory OTAs and training camp, so that's why Mac Jones is out in Cali, passing with them and everything. No days off type of shit. But that's cool, man. Yep. So I'm expecting us to start either 26th, 25th, 27th, somewhere right around you guys.
Yeah, some teams, I don't know why this is, but some teams have veterans coming in on the 26th, and then like the younger dudes come in like 5 days before or a little before.
Usually,
so some of them have staggered.
Usually,
but apparently the Eagles they're bringing them all in on the 26th. They're not having like any early shows.
Gotcha.
So that's pretty decent. Now this is just I only brought this in because it was ridiculous. I only saw one report of this, and it was kind of being spread around by the other outlets, so I don't know how much truth there is to it. They're saying Eagles are likely going to offer Jalen Hurts a contract of $35 to $40 million a year after this season, which
yes, now it's the same reason you gave Carson Wentz the contract you gave Carson Wentz, and I know it bit you in the ass. I know, and well, that's what they're saying. They're saying it's next off season. They're not going to offer it to him now, but I know. But that's what I'm saying. I want to see what he does this year before we do anything. I'm afraid this motherfucker's going to have a 35 touchdown, 7 interception type of season, bro. I'm worried that Jalen Hurts is going to go off. You're going to pay this motherfucker $50 million a year if you don't fucking get him on an extension now. You know what I mean? So he's going to be like Kyler Murray. He's going to be so fucking good, dude.
I hope so, man. Because everything I see, like he just posts shit, just
and
working out with all these other players.
Shit now, this dude's fucking huge, looking like Cam Newton. What the fuck?
Every time he posts shit, he's out there working with AJ Brown, bro. Him and AJ are always working together. So
Jalen Hurts is an issue that nobody seems to be fucking talking about.
Nobody is talking about Jalen Hurts,
fucking
bro.
talking about Jalen. I told you, I brought that up to you a couple podcasts ago. It was reported that the most money has been put on Jalen Hurts to win MVP for next year. And it was strictly, it wasn't like he had the best odds or anything like that. His odds to risk ratio, you know, people were like, oh, I'll take that bet, you know, because he could potentially fucking win MVP next year.
He went out to Cali and worked with a QB guru this offseason, worked on like his reads, his throwing mechanics, everything like that. So I'm, like you're saying, I'm hoping we see a significant jump with Jalen Hurts this season, especially because they gave him all the weapons to do so.
Y'all did everything you could to make sure that he was successful. So, like, and
boom,
I feel like he's going to get it done, man.
If we have a great season, man, going to the playoffs, maybe get a win or two, hopefully go further, sign this man to a big old deal next off season, then you still got 2 first-rounders to use, bro, to get some dope talent on your squad, or to go out and just go all in like how the Rams and shit be doing, just get some dope players on your squad.
Fuck them first-rounders.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows? We could use them for whatever we want.
Philosophy.
Sky's the limit if we don't have to go out and get a QB next year.
Rams have been to 2 Super Bowls in the last couple of years. Fuck them first-rounders. We don't need them motherfuckers, bro.
We were one in 2017.
Last first rounder I gave a shit about was Aaron Donald. Get the fuck out of here. As soon as we got that motherfucker, we're trying to get a Super Bowl. Like, that shit's crazy, man.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I believe in
got
them
a taste
Eagles.
of it 2017. We want to get back.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're on the fast track, hopefully.
Our last taste was 2018, man. Beat them fucking Rams. Fuck them assholes. Fuck you. Only scored 3 points, fuckers. Fucking
you were this close.
You could have had 2. You could have had 2. You could have beat Tom Brady. Fuck it.
But yeah, that's all I have. I didn't really have too much. But I'm sure we're gonna have so much more news here next week.
We're running pretty long here anyway. We're at like about an hour and a half.
Yeah. So I mean, like 15 or 14 minutes of it was us talking there at the beginning.
That's true.
But we can go right into the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. You know how we always like to top it off here. Go with, finals MVP Steph Curry here.
Oh shit.
None other.
This is about to be a crazy stat.
If you took all of Steph Curry's made 3-pointers in these finals and you changed them to 2-pointers, he still would have been the leading scorer in the finals.
For real?
Yeah.
Holy shit. So, like, that's just telling you maybe field goal percentage, like field goal makes, like things like that. This dude is just on fire. You can't stop Steph Curry. It doesn't matter. Even whenever they lose, Steph Curry is still having a damn near MVP season, as we saw last year. So... Yeah. And I'm scared. I am scared for the NBA, dude. Because if he's back, if Clay's
these Warriors are back.
They have these young bulls now too with them. The Warriors are back. We have another 3
They're going to be locking
years.
Wiggins down probably. They're going to be locking Poole down probably.
It's a good time for the Lakers to be shitty again. We're going back to
so LeBron doesn't like, oh God, I got to worry about the Warriors again.
Honestly, I don't care what LeBron does at this point. LeBron could leave.
See what Draymond said about y'all?
No. What Draymond say about the Lakers? It's probably true.
He's like, they asked him about like, what if Kyrie went to y'all? And he was like, that would be a good fit. He would work great with LeBron there, but they still ain't beating us. He's like, they would have an all right team or whatever, but they ain't getting past us.
That's not too bad. I respect that. Draymond been on LeBron's podcast
out there, like,
and shit.
Y'all, but he's like, they would be an all right team, but there's no way they're getting past us.
But they ain't beating us, and he's fucking right. There ain't no way. There ain't no way. Like, god damn, bro. We're not gonna get past Phoenix. We're not gonna get past Dallas. We're not gonna get past fucking Utah. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna be bad. For
Dallas is another team, like we mentioned with Portland before we go, is another team I've been seeing as buyers.
Yeah, they absolutely need to be. They absolutely need to be, because Luka is an asset. You don't want to waste prime years, man. You do not want to waste these years.
Or he gonna go get his dough and win somewhere else.
Yeah, this is the years like Kobe was young winning chips with Shaq type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and there's 29 other teams that are gonna want Luka.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But yeah, that's the show for this week. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. As always, make sure to check out all the content across the Waves 5 Media channel here. Make sure to go follow us at Squad Pod Sports on Twitter. And I'm sure we're going to have a lot of news to talk about next week.
Next week could be crazy, man. We're going to have a huge NBA segment.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of NBA stuff.
A shitload of more NFL news to talk about as well. You know,
yeah, gearing up for training camp here at the end of next month.
And this is episode 97. So 98, 99, we're getting to 100. We're planning on doing something for 100. We're not 100% sure yet, but stay tuned for that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Until next week, everybody, we'll see you later.
Peace.